Mastering English through the listen and repeat method. The power of sound and repetition. This audiobook is designed to unlock the secrets of effective language learning by focusing on one of the most fundamental and powerful techniques: listening and repeating. Whether you're a beginner eager to grasp the basics or an advanced learner aiming to polish your pronunciation, this audiobook will guide you through the essential steps to mastering English sounds and letters. Focus points. The listen and repeat method. Discover the core principles behind this effective learning strategy and how it can transform your English skills. Importance of learning letters and sounds. Understand why mastering the basic sounds of English is crucial for pronunciation and comprehension. The role of repetition. Learn how repeated practice can solidify your understanding and help you internalize correct pronunciation. Imitating sounds. Explore techniques for mimicking native speakers and the impact of accurate sound imitation on fluency. Building phonetic awareness. Gain insights into developing a keen ear for the nuances of English phonetics and how it aids in effective communication. Practical exercises. Follow along with targeted exercises designed to practice listening and repeating for optimal results. Overcoming common challenges. Get tips and strategies for overcoming common difficulties faced while using the listen and repeat method. What you'll learn. Effective language acquisition. How listening and repeating can accelerate your English learning process. Sound mastery. Techniques for accurately producing English sounds and improving your pronunciation. Repetition techniques. Best practices for incorporating repetition into your study routine for maximum benefit. Phonetic precision. How to develop precise phonetic skills and improve your overall language fluency. Practical application. Real-world exercises and examples to apply the listen and repeat method effectively. Challenge management. Strategies to tackle and overcome common pronunciation and listening challenges. Enhance confidence. Build confidence in your spoken English through improved listening and repetition practices. Tune in to enhance your English learning journey with practical, engaging, and proven techniques. Let's dive in and master the art of listening and repeating together. Focus point 1: the listen and repeat method. The listen and repeat method is a time-tested approach to language learning that emphasizes the importance of auditory input and vocal practice. At its core, this method involves listening carefully to spoken language, whether it's individual sounds, words, or sentences, and then repeating them to enhance pronunciation, intonation, and fluency. When you listen intently to how native speakers articulate sounds and phrases, you are training your ear to recognize and produce the subtleties of the language. This is crucial because English pronunciation can often be nuanced and challenging. For instance, the difference between the words ship and sheep hinges on a subtle vowel sound that can be difficult to master without careful listening and practice. Consider how young children learn their first language. They absorb sounds from their environment, mimic those sounds, and gradually refine their speech through repetition. Similarly, adults can harness this natural learning process by focusing on listening to and imitating English sounds. This method helps build a strong foundation for more advanced language skills. Incorporating the listen and repeat method into your study routine can be highly effective. Here's how. Listen carefully. Focus on the pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation of native speakers. Use resources like language learning apps or audio recordings of native speakers. Repeat aloud. Mimic the sounds and intonation you've heard. This practice helps reinforce correct pronunciation and fluency. Record and compare. Record yourself while practicing and compare it to native speakers. This helps identify areas for improvement. Use repetition wisely. Regularly repeat phrases and sentences to solidify your pronunciation and improve recall. The beauty of this method lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. As the famous language educator John Haycraft once said, "Language is the key to the heart of people." By engaging deeply with the sounds of English, you unlock the ability to connect more authentically with speakers of the language. In summary, the listen and repeat method is not just about mimicking sounds, but about deeply engaging with the language to build proficiency. Embrace this method with dedication and patience, and watch your English skills flourish. Focus point 2. Importance of learning letters and sounds. Understanding the letters and sounds of English is the bedrock of effective language learning. Each letter and sound has a distinct role in shaping pronunciation and meaning. Mastery of these elements is crucial for both speaking and listening skills. English phonetics is built on a complex system where each letter can represent different sounds. For instance, the letter A in cat sounds different from the A in cake. By focusing on the individual sounds, learners can avoid common pronunciation errors and develop a more accurate and confident speaking style. The phonetic alphabet is a tool that can greatly aid in this process. The International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, provides a visual representation of sounds, allowing learners to see how sounds are articulated. For example, the IPA represents the sound in think, which is different from the sound in this. Mastery of these symbols helps in distinguishing between similar sounds and achieving correct pronunciation. Consider how learning to play a musical instrument involves understanding notes and scales. Similarly, mastering English sounds involves recognizing and practicing the different notes of the language. As the renowned linguist Noam Chomsky remarked, language acquisition is not merely the absorption of knowledge, but the discovery of the structure of language itself. To effectively learn letters and sounds, here are some practical recommendations. Study phonetics. Familiarize yourself with the sounds of English and their corresponding IPA symbols. This can help in understanding pronunciation nuances. Practice pronunciation. Focus on individual sounds and practice them using audio resources and phonetic drills. Use flashcards. Create flashcards with letters and their corresponding sounds to reinforce learning. Engage in minimal pairs practice. Work on minimal pairs, such as ship and sheep, to distinguish between similar sounds. Listen actively. Pay attention to the pronunciation of native speakers and try to replicate their articulation. Understanding and mastering the sounds and letters of English lays the groundwork for effective communication. By investing time and effort into this fundamental aspect of language learning, you set yourself up for greater success in speaking and understanding English. Focus point 3. The role of repetition. Repetition is a cornerstone of effective language learning. By repeatedly practicing sounds, words, and phrases, learners can reinforce their understanding and improve their pronunciation. This principle is rooted in cognitive science, which shows that repetition helps transfer information from short-term to long-term memory. Think of how athletes train for their sports. They practice their skills repeatedly to build muscle memory and improve performance. Similarly, language learners benefit from practicing words and sounds until they become second nature. Repetition helps in solidifying pronunciation patterns and making them automatic, so speaking becomes more fluid and natural. In language learning, repetition is not just about repeating words, but about engaging in varied practice. For instance, practicing a new word in different sentences and contexts helps deepen your understanding and use of that word. This varied repetition helps learners adapt to different linguistic scenarios, from casual conversations to formal presentations. To illustrate, consider learning the English phrase, "How are you?" Repeating it in various contexts, such as greeting friends, in formal settings, or during casual chats, helps you become comfortable using it appropriately in different situations. Here are some effective strategies to utilize repetition in your language learning. Daily practice. Set aside dedicated time each day for repetition exercises. Consistency is key to making progress. Use spaced repetition. Implement spaced repetition techniques, where you review material at increasing intervals. This helps reinforce learning over time. Incorporate variation. Practice words and phrases in different contexts to deepen your understanding and adaptability. Engage in shadowing. Listen to native speakers and repeat what they say in real time. This technique improves pronunciation and fluency. Record and listen. Record yourself while practicing and listen to the recordings. This allows you to hear your progress and identify areas for improvement. Repetition builds confidence and fluency, making it an indispensable part of language learning. By integrating these practices into your routine, you can enhance your English skills and achieve greater linguistic proficiency. Focus point 4. Imitating sounds. Imitating sounds is a powerful technique in language learning that enhances pronunciation and fluency. By closely mimicking the way native speakers produce sounds, learners can better understand and reproduce the nuances of the language. This method not only aids in achieving accurate pronunciation, but also helps in mastering the rhythm and intonation patterns of English. When you imitate sounds, you are engaging in active listening and practicing the subtle differences between similar sounds. For instance, English has several vowel sounds that can be challenging for learners, such as the difference between the s in cat and the s in car. By listening to native pronunciation and imitating it, learners can develop a more accurate and natural-sounding accent. Consider the way actors and voiceover artists perfect their performances. They study and mimic the voices and accents of others to achieve a specific sound or effect. Similarly, language learners can use imitation to refine their pronunciation and sound more like native speakers. Here are some effective strategies for incorporating imitation into your language learning. Listen and mimic. Listen to native speakers through recordings or conversations, and try to replicate their pronunciation and intonation as closely as possible. Practice with phonetic exercises. Use exercises that focus on particular sounds or sound combinations to practice imitation. Use language learning apps. Many apps offer features for practicing pronunciation by mimicking native speakers and receiving feedback. Record and compare. Record your attempts at imitating sounds and compare them with native speaker recordings to identify areas for improvement. Shadow native speakers. Engage in shadowing, where you listen to a native speaker and speak simultaneously, mimicking their speed and intonation. Imitating sounds helps bridge the gap between passive listening and active speaking, allowing learners to develop a more authentic and confident speaking style. By incorporating these strategies into your practice, you can enhance your English pronunciation and overall fluency. Focus point 5. Building phonetic awareness. Building phonetic awareness is crucial for mastering English pronunciation and fluency. Phonetic awareness involves recognizing and manipulating the individual sounds in spoken language. This skill helps learners understand how sounds combine to form words, and how subtle differences in pronunciation can change meaning. English phonetics can be complex, with many sounds that are not found in other languages. For example, the English R sound in red is pronounced differently from the R in some other languages, which may lack this sound altogether. By developing phonetic awareness, learners can more accurately produce these sounds and distinguish between similar ones. Phonetic awareness also involves understanding the patterns of stress and intonation. In English, the stress placed on certain syllables can alter the meaning of a word or sentence. For instance, the word record can be a noun or a verb depending on whether the stress is on the first or second syllable. Recognizing and practicing these patterns helps learners sound more natural and fluent. To develop phonetic awareness effectively, consider these strategies. Learn phonetic symbols. Familiarize yourself with the International Phonetic Alphabet, IPA, to understand how sounds are represented and practiced. Practice phoneme identification. Work on identifying and producing individual sounds, or phonemes, using phonetic exercises and drills. Use minimal pairs. Practice with minimal pairs, such as bit and beat, to hear and produce subtle sound differences. Focus on stress and intonation. Practice phrases and sentences with varying stress and intonation to master natural speech patterns. Engage in phonetic training. Utilize language learning tools and apps that offer phonetic training and feedback on pronunciation. Developing phonetic awareness enables learners to improve their pronunciation, understand the nuances of English, and communicate more effectively. By incorporating these practices into your routine, you can enhance your overall language skills and achieve greater fluency. Focus point 6. Practical exercises. Practical exercises are essential for applying the listen and repeat method effectively. They provide hands-on experience with pronunciation and help reinforce learning by allowing you to practice and apply new skills in real contexts. Engaging in targeted exercises can accelerate your progress and solidify your understanding of English sounds and patterns. One effective exercise involves repeating sentences or phrases after a native speaker. This practice not only helps with pronunciation, but also aids in mastering rhythm and intonation. For instance, if you practice repeating sentences from a news broadcast or a conversation, you'll become more adept at mimicking the natural flow of spoken English. Another valuable exercise is shadowing, where you listen to a speaker and simultaneously repeat what they say. This technique helps in developing fluency and improving your ability to keep pace with native speakers. Shadowing can be particularly useful for mastering the intonation and rhythm of spoken English, which are crucial for sounding natural. Role-playing scenarios is another practical exercise that helps learners practice language in context. By simulating real-life conversations, you can apply pronunciation skills in practical situations, such as ordering food at a restaurant or making small talk at a social event. This practice helps bridge the gap between controlled exercises and real-world use. Here are some effective practical exercises to incorporate into your practice routine. Sentence repetition. Repeat sentences or phrases from native speakers to practice pronunciation and intonation. Shadowing. Listen to a speaker and repeat their speech in real time to improve fluency and rhythm. Role-playing. Simulate real-life conversations to practice using language in context and reinforce pronunciation skills. Phonetic drills. Engage in drills that focus on specific sounds or sound combinations to improve accuracy. Audio feedback. Record your practice and listen to it, comparing it with native speaker recordings to identify areas for improvement. Practical exercises make learning interactive and engaging, helping you apply new skills effectively and build confidence in your English abilities. By incorporating these exercises into your study routine, you can enhance your pronunciation and overall language proficiency. Focus point 7. Overcoming common challenges. Overcoming common challenges in language learning is an integral part of mastering the listen and repeat method. Many learners face obstacles such as difficulty distinguishing similar sounds, persistent pronunciation errors, or a lack of confidence when speaking. Addressing these challenges head-on can significantly enhance your language skills and build your confidence. One common challenge is distinguishing between similar sounds. These sounds can be difficult for non-native speakers to differentiate and produce correctly. To overcome this, focus practice with minimal pairs, such as light and right, can help in developing the ability to hear and produce these sounds accurately. Another challenge is dealing with persistent pronunciation errors. It's not uncommon for learners to repeatedly make the same mistakes despite practicing. Recording yourself and comparing your pronunciation with native speakers can help you identify specific errors and work on correcting them. Additionally, working with a language tutor or using pronunciation tools that provide instant feedback can offer valuable guidance. Building confidence when speaking is also a crucial aspect of overcoming challenges. Many learners feel nervous about making mistakes or being judged. Practicing speaking in low-pressure environments, such as language exchange groups or speaking with supportive friends, can help build confidence and reduce anxiety. Here are some strategies to tackle these challenges effectively. Focus practice. Work on distinguishing similar sounds using minimal pairs and phonetic drills to improve accuracy. Self-recording and comparison. Record your speech and compare it with native speaker recordings to identify and correct pronunciation errors. Seek feedback. Use language learning tools or work with a tutor to receive feedback and guidance on improving your pronunciation. Build confidence. Practice speaking in supportive environments to build confidence and reduce anxiety. Use pronunciation tools. Utilize apps and tools that offer exercises and feedback on pronunciation to aid in overcoming common challenges. By addressing these common obstacles with targeted strategies, you can enhance your language learning experience and achieve greater proficiency in English. In this audiobook, we've explored the powerful listen and repeat method, a fundamental approach to mastering English pronunciation and fluency. We began by understanding how closely listening to native speakers and repeating their sounds can enhance your language skills. We then delved into the importance of learning individual letters and sounds, which form the foundation for clear and accurate pronunciation. we examined the role of repetition in solidifying your language skills, emphasizing that consistent practice leads to mastery. Imitating native sounds helps you refine your accent and achieve a more natural speaking style. Building phonetic awareness allows you to recognize and produce subtle differences in sounds, while practical exercises provide hands-on practice to apply what you've learned. Finally, we tackled common challenges such as distinguishing similar sounds and building confidence, offering strategies to overcome these obstacles effectively. To make the most of these insights, here are a few recommendations. Engage in regular practice. Incorporate daily exercises focused on listening and repeating to improve your pronunciation. Utilize phonetic tools. Use resources like the IPA and pronunciation apps to enhance your phonetic awareness. Record and review. Regularly record yourself and compare your pronunciation with native speakers to identify areas for improvement. Build confidence. Practice speaking in supportive environments and seek feedback to boost your confidence. Stay consistent. Make repetition and imitation a part of your routine for steady progress. Thank you for tuning in and supporting our MediaDeem channel. If you enjoyed this audiobook, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more valuable content. Remember, listening is a key component in improving your English language skills. The more you listen, the better you speak. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and keep listening to reach new heights in your language journey.